Hello everyone, and welcome once again to another video for the channel. On this occasion, I bring you 5 amazing mini mods you have to try. Part number 15. And yes, you heard right, we're already here in part number 15. So if in this video you won't find any mini mods that you come to like it, which is always I doubt very much, you can go see the previous parts. I'm sure you might like something there. And as always in each of these videos, the next challenge is a tradition. And if at least one of the minimums that I bring you in this video will please you, you will have to subscribe. And it's more to do the thing a little more fun this time. You can put me in the comments your top 5 mods that I showed in the video. Let's see which of the 5 it's the one that most people like the most. So, without anything else to say, now yes, let's go for the video. And we start the list with one of the best add-ins, and what else has been recommended to me in the comments. We're talking about Dungeon's Delight. And by the name itself, surely many people will have noticed that this is an add-in of Farmer's Delight. And you might be wondering why I added to the mini mod series. And that is more than anything because today, it is one of the most complete. Above all because of its aesthetics and additions are something totally different. Well, to start, this will add the following. We will have both new decorative blocks, also new tools, and above all the food, which will be adding new effects. And not just any kind of effects, but we are talking about mutations, monstrous effects of normal potions. And that is the main reason, for which at least it seems to me, a mod worthy of appearing in this video. Well, for example, here we will have the Strength Potion, which will be giving us a vanilla Minecraft effect. If I were to take this potion, obviously it will be giving me the Force effect. However, this is where the interesting part comes in. Well, if we eat a meal that evolves the effect of Force and we eat it, now this effect will have disappeared and transforming into the Decisive effect, the monstrous form of Strength. In this case, the Decisive effect will have a chance to land critical hits without the need to jump and hit when falling, causing 1.5 more damage than normal. And if you're wondering, no, we can't combine normal effects with its monstrous evolution. So, you understand me, it's like a supreme transformation of Ben 10. On the one hand, we have a totally normal alien with a utility in specific, but upon reaching its supreme form, can change the utility of the alien but making it more powerful. You saw there how I did to link the topic with Ben 10. You won't deny that it's a good example. But well, now talking a little more on the subject of food. As you can notice, we will have a lot of new ingredients which, like regular Farmer's Delight recipes, these can be obtained from monstrous creatures, like zombies, the warden, the ghast, and even spiders. And to be honest, this mod more than Dungeon's Delight should be called Monster's Delight. But well, I guess the name is already there, used if I had to highlight any of the ingredients. In this case, it would be the embedded eggs. For its manufacture, first we must obtain the sculk polyps. These can be found on a chopping board, or even when killing the warden. If we count these in a sculk block, along with some eggs, we'll be leaving us this block, which we should let rest next to the fire for a few minutes, making it reach its state of maturity. And these, by breaking them now, will be leaving us Skulk's eggs, one of the rarest ingredients of the entire mod that will allow us to create recipes such as Skulk mayonnaise, a new kind of bread, the chicken jockey sandwich. And just like this, we'll have a ton of new bizarre recipes. But if we talk about disgusting food, my favorite of all would be a new kind of burger. We will be talking about the Monster Burger, which will be done with a total of 6 dishes from the mod itself, and with the hamburger as a container. And people like the #1 fan of burgers that I am. I have to say that I definitely wouldn't eat this. Oh, why would I deceive you? Yes, I would. And as an extra detail, this Monster Burger seems to be clearly inspired by the filthy crab burger from the SpongeBob SquarePants episode of The Health Inspector. And come on, they're not going to deny it to me. They look quite similar. But hey, if what you're looking for is a new one, food mod that not only adds new ones, ingredients, but also lots of new mechanics and tools, this one definitely is what you are looking for. And now, without anything else to say, let's go for the next position. The next model we will be talking about is called Mighty Male. You may have heard of McCrayfish's mod. Furniture. Well, it turns out that the creator himself loved it so much, this new mechanic decided to separate it into another mod. So, to have it now will not be. You need to download the entire decoration mod. And frankly, I think it is a mechanic that is very worthwhile. Well, this mod only gives us. We'll be bringing the new mailboxes. And the mailbox is this box. We can use it to send messages and packages to our colleagues, while the mailboxes will be used to receive them. This will work as follows. We are going to place a mailbox outside our house. Here we are going to give it a name. We accept it, and our partner must do the same. Obviously, this way, it will be more designed to play with friends. And once the mailboxes are placed, now we must go to the mailbox. At the top, we are going to place the objects that we want to send. We can even add a message to it. We will choose the mailbox to whom we want to send it, and we will give it to the send button. As a curious fact, every time our mailbox has a package inside, we'll have a small flag coming out of this. This is something incredibly useful since it can be used to send messages to our colleagues, even outside your home. And just imagine taking one of these with you, mailboxes, and place it in some other dimension, so that our companion who is at home can send us the resources that we need for what. If yours are small, add on mods that enhance your Minecraft world. This is surely one of your best options. The next mod I have brought you is called Friends and Foes, a curious mod that will allow us to bring to life to the previous losers of the mob votes, such as the Orange Clawed Crab, the Glare the Golem of Tough, and also the Copper Golems. Although, well, this last one is not so surprising anymore. Well, let's remember that Mohang brought it to life in one of the latest updates. The most curious thing is that each of these creatures will come with the mechanics that were announced. And not like now that the Copper Golem is much more useful than before. Well, previously, this creature had been thought of only to press buttons, but of course, what happens to creatures that have already been replaced? Such as the case of the Great Hungry Man. Well, practically, it had the same utility as a sharpener. Well, this will be a small creature that is only one. Will live in savannas and deserts. It usually feeds mainly on chickens and rabbits. But other than that, it won't be a completely aggressive mob. Its main function will be to feed them with enchanted tools. And obviously, the more we feed them, these will grow. And the function it has is a much more interesting than the one I had before. Well, now if we right-click on it with empty bottles, we'll become bottles of experience. I have a kind of warehouses where we can save and retrieve the experience when we want another case. Very peculiar, and apparently it hurt many people at the time. It was the Iceologist, a new type of enemy that will appear in biomes. Snowcapped Mountain. This will function as a new variant of the Summoner, which is in the description of the mob vote. We'll be able to create blocks of ice that will fall on you, in addition to giving you the freezing effect. When he dies, he will be leaving us a new type of totem. This will function as a normal immortality totem. Only now at the moment of dying, it will be giving you the speed effect, while all nearby enemies will have the freezing effect, making it much easier for you to escape. Another of the most beloved creatures, but that equally did not succeed or win, are the Orange Clawed Crabs, which, now, they will not only be able to appear in Manglex, but also on beaches. And in my opinion at least, unlike the presentation he had at the mob vote, are a little more interesting. Well, first of all, when feeding them with algae, we will be able to raise them and similar ones. Turtles will be able to leave their eggs in the sand. On the other hand, at the moment of death, he will not be leaving his pincers behind, And sadly, having it in our hand, we will not have more reach, as we have been promised in the mob vote. But these will be used for a new type of potion, the Reach Potion, which, by taking it, we will increase our range by 1 block. Now, seeing this small change will be a matter of taste, unlike of the mechanics that have been promised to us with having the clamp in your hand. But tell me which one you prefer. And finish the last one, mob that we will be seeing this time. Is the real Blaze a variant? Much bigger and more powerful than a normal Blaze, being practically a kind of mini-boss. It will even have its proper structure. This will have the same abilities as a Blaze, in addition to being able to push us and summon Blaze to help him in the fight. Every time this receives damage and will lose one of its shields, until finally falling defeated, leaving us the fragments of his crown. A piece of armor with good protection, resistance to thrust, and will also have the ability to give us invulnerability to fire for 8 seconds. The next mob we'll be looking at, say Llamas Armory, a peculiar vanilla armor mod with designs. Incredible is that not only the designs, they are somewhat striking in this mod. Well, something worth mentioning about this is that all the armor will be perfectly well balanced. For example, in this case, we will have the armored armors these are. They will be making it with cladding of the same material, such as diamond type armor. Armor, as you can see, they will have much greater protection. But of course, they will come with a very important disadvantage. And it is that when we put on the helmet, we won't be able to see very well. A much more realistic detail, and that effectively, they will be building a little on the subject of armor. In other more peculiar cases, we will have the armor of iron and gold reinforced, which they will even come with a very interesting feature. Well, like netherite armor, we won't be able to see very well, unless of course we press the H key, where, as you can see, we can open and close the helmet. And that's not all. Well, in case we open the helmet, the armor will have less protection. Very different from how it would be in your state closed. Another small detail worth mentioning is that this mod will add armor that should exist in the game, such as skeleton armor. The armored armor set, complete with chainmail, all the missing parts of the turtle armor, and which I have to say is my favorite, at least in terms of design and functionality. Well, in case we stay crouched, we will have slowness 4, but at the same time, resistance 3, something that returns to this armor, something much more interesting than. If you are looking for a new armor mod, vanilla that are not broken, this is surely one of your best options. And finally, I have brought you Lily's Lucky Lures mod, a very interesting fishing mod as a fact. Curious this will be another member of the Let's Do mod family. Kaylee's Como Let's Do Bakery, Brewery Winery, mods that will be mostly focused to the decoration and the food. And in this case, the mod will not be too big, since it is more intended to be a compliment. Once you download this mod from now on, we will be able to find the new floating debris. These debris will appear naturally, and if we are near a water source, a very interesting mechanic that apparently it turns them more into entities than into objects. Well, as I tell you, only they will appear if we are near water, which will be leading us to the fishing net. Very similar to the mechanics of archaeology. Well, if we get close to any of these debris and right-click on it, we will start cleaning it. In a matter of seconds, they can give us garbage bags. These bags will be full of treasures, or even some fish. This will depend mainly on your luck. But the objects they will keep are not bad at all. Another tool that we will have, it will be the new bamboo fishing rod. This will be practically the same as a normal rod. What will be something a little more interesting? It will be the fishing spear, a weapon with 7 damage very similar to a trident alone. That this one will not be able to be enchanted, since its main functionality, as its name says, it will be to hunt fish, and even other sea creatures as well. And so much so that in one fell swoop, we will be able to finish them off. But if aiming isn't your thing, don't worry, since we will have the cartridges of Dynamite Witch. Will be thought about, all to create a powerful underwater explosion, which will kill all the nearby fish. And if it were a joke, this method exists in real life. Another new addition we will have will be the fishing hat, which we can only get it at the time of fishing, and we'll be giving the effect of luck infinitely. Then we will have the fish trap, which will be designed to create your own fish farms without the need to fish. These will work when you give it watermelon seeds, using them as bait. So it will only be a matter of time before the fish fall into them. Then we will have the redstone coil, a very interesting machine, which we must use in the company of 11. This will have 3 different functions. If we right-click on it, this will be changing its function. First, we will have the player's function, which will be attacking all players who do not let us be us. The enemy's option will be shooting at all the creatures, hostiles around. And finally, the fisherman's option, which will only be attacking sea creatures. And of course, we couldn't forget the blocks. Decorative, which will obviously be fully focused to fishing. But now tell me, what did you think of these mods? Which of them all was your favorite? Or the one that caught your attention the most? Or also, can you tell me what other type of mods you would like to see in an upcoming video? I'll be reading you in the comments. And well guys, I hope you liked it, that they are fun, which is the most important thing for me. If you liked the video, I would ask you to please like and comment on what you thought of this video. What other types of videos would you like to see on the channel? And also subscribe, that is very important. Remember that salmon don't know how to play the guitar. And see you in the next video, bye.